Hey everyone, it's Ashley, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm a day late, but I am here with what I have been warming this week, and I feel like I have a fair amount to chat about, and I'm just really long-winded, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna go in order as best I can, and I think I'm going to start off with this tester right here. So this is strawberry lemon cake in the tester format. I did this in my office at work, and I recently started doing my wax again in the office. I know I've talked about recently, just like I feel like I got weird airflow, and scents seem like they're just performing so much differently. I moved desks in like December, late December, so I'm trying to get back into the swing and like use things, but it's been a little bit difficult. So I've gotten back into wax. I've been trying just like on Monday mornings or like the start of the week to just like change a new scent and like let it go for the week. And so this will be my third week currently. And so yeah, last week I used strawberry lemon cake. I feel like that kind of process is going really well. The testers seem to last that whole time with like no issues. Strawberry lemon cake is not my favorite strawberry bakery scent, like in comparison of all the strawberry bakeries out there. I feel like the addition of the lemon, I don't know, I feel like the scent had so much potential. I've talked about it many times. I also have a bar of it to talk about, so let's go into that next. I feel like in my office did fine. But I also used up, I had 2 cubes of this left when we talked about it last week, and I used this in my like morning kitchen warmer. I thought that it would go well kind of in the kitchen just as being like a bakery scent, and I only had 2 cubes of it left. So I used the rest of the bar in the open concept, and I guess maybe in my head I thought I put the 2 cubes in my warmer there, but I obviously didn't. So I had 2 left over, just used them up quick, and so that went all week. I actually need to change that warmer out. It still has this in it. It could stand to be changed for sure. So I had that kind of going throughout the house, along with, well, I feel like my candle combos, I wasn't doing like a super hot job, honestly, this week. So I think I'm just going to talk about the candles at the end. Let's talk about the other scents I had going on. So one other wax bar to talk about, the second half of the week, I was testing out the Cigarro Desert Rain. I think that's how you say this word. This is in the new Puddles and Petals collection. In my first sniffs video, this is in the current whiff box, I mentioned I feel like it smells very similar to the NHL scent, which kind of has like a grassy, like masculine lean, like that sort of scenario. It feels very similar to this. Honestly, I tested this because for my like Facebook VIP group, Tester Tuesday, I've been like trying to review new scents for them, and I let them vote on what they want, and this was voted totally not in my wheelhouse. Like, it's fine, it was bearable, I didn't like turn it off or anything, but once the 4th day hit, I try to let my scents go at least 4 days, like Wednesday, kind of through the end of the week. And on the 4th day, I was like, this is starting to die off. Like, I have to change it. I'm just not into it. So yeah, that's what happened with this one. It's just, like I said, I mean, it really reminds me of the NHL scent. If you like that one, I feel like you should check this one out. It's not licensed, so 50 cents cheaper. Or maybe even, yeah, $1. What's the difference between licensed bars? Maybe like $1. I don't know. It's very fresh. It has that like masculine lean to it. Like I said, I don't know. I wasn't really a fan. Fresh scents, not my favorite category by any means. So I'm not really that surprised, but I did it for the people. I tested it. I feel like it was fairly strong because I wasn't really into the scent profile. Like, I find that scents I don't love are stronger than scents I do love, because I'm obviously searching for them because I would love more of them. So I felt like it was pretty strong. If you're into those things, I think you should check that one out. But that's my 2 cents. And then I have a couple of things in Starburst Sky to talk about. So as I always do, I'm moving around my home fragrance and kind of where I have things placed. I feel like it's a constant battle. As soon as I verbalize something and be like, oh, I'm trying this, I end up moving something else. So I recently moved a fragrance flower into our upstairs bathroom because I was just looking for something different. I really was just like, I want to use my fragrance flowers a little bit more. Yeah, I was just feeling called to. And fragrance flowers are something, they're like reed diffusers if you're not familiar. They last for like around 60 days. So it's not like a quick, oh, I want to change it. I'm like pretty committed to having this fragrance flower somewhere for the next 60 days. Does it have to be the bathroom? No, but it's not like I can put it back in the box and put it away because it's oily, it's reed diffuser. So here's the situation I have working with Starburst Sky. This is the oil. It's empty. I mean, I started it. And then I did a Buttercup Belle fragrance flower with it. These come separately now. And so when I get them, I just stash them in my closet. Whether I actually ordered this specifically together, I have no idea, but I just kind of pick what I want and go from there because they're separate and it doesn't really matter. So anyway, this is what I did. I do find the Buttercup Belles to have the best throw most of the time because they have the most coverage. They're the biggest. They have the most exposed petal, if you will, in the same way like a reed diffuser has really tall reeds. Like this is the tallest of the reeds in my opinion. I feel like this flower just performs the best because it has the most surface area. Just my opinion, obviously. So yeah, I have this in the bathroom. It's only been going for about less than a week now when I'm sharing this video, but I've kind of moved it around a little bit in the bathroom. We have a couple shelves, mounted on the wall. And so I had it on those. I had it on the counter just for a little bit. I definitely want it somewhere that will like get a little bit of airflow to give it some give it some scent throw. But I don't want it anywhere that like Gemma can get into it because it is obviously a fragrance oil at the end of the day. So countertop's not really my vibe. Even our lower shelf, she sometimes will take things off of it. Like it's definitely accessible to her still. So we have a really tall one that's like, it's tall for me even, I'm short, but still like she can't get to that one. So I actually put it up there and I feel like it's doing okay. They're directly above the toilet. I don't know. It's not providing like the most fragrance ever, but it's a bathroom. It's a small area. So I'm enjoying trying it out for now. I don't know. We'll see. I may end up, I don't know. I'm always in like a state of wanting to change up my home fragrance. You know me. But yeah, I like the scent of it. I feel like it's doing fine so far in the fragrance flower. I also got this in my Scentsy Club that I just unboxed with you guys. It's a Starburst Sky scent pack, which I've been using the scent packs in the car for just like some car fragrance now that car bars are discontinued. So I was like, I love me some Starburst Sky. I gotta get this in a scent pack. I have to say, it's only been, once again, like a week, but I do feel like the scent of this that I'm getting in the car from the scent pack is not exactly the same as the bar. Like it's a little bit different. Do I have, I have a room spray right here. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot more like fruity in a way. I feel like the bar has more of that like coconut vanilla-esque, and this feels like a lot more fruity, like a lot heavier on the fruit aspect, which I don't know, every time I get in the car and I get a whiff of it, I'm like, something's different here. I don't hate it, but I was expecting something just a little bit different. I mean, obviously in the different formats, it's hard to, I'm sure, formulate everything exactly the same, but, and I mean, it could just be like my car. Like, I feel like cars are kind of hard to scent in a way, like, you know, if the carpet probably needs a nice shampooing, or like your mats are dirty. Like, there's a lot happening in the car. You know, if you're my husband, maybe you're leaving your lunch containers in the car 4 days. Anyway, just some feedback on the scent pack. If you're looking into getting the scent pack, especially if you've been trying this in your car, kind of like I have been, jury's out on that one still. Unless you want more fruit from that scent, then maybe you should check it out in that case. Okay, I'm gonna pivot to candles. So like I said, was kind of not doing a super job with my candle situation this week, but we're gonna chat about it anyway. I didn't do this one very much last week. I'm actually working on it a little bit more this week, but this is the Market Peach and Strawberry Pound Cake. This is the blends. This was the first like original blends release. I know they've done a little bit since. So here is what we're looking like on the inside. Like I said, I've burned this a little bit more this week than I, like, you know, since last week or whatever. I think last week I burned it 2 times, and I've already burned it 2 times this week, which is insane because it looks like I've barely started this again. Like if I've burned it 4 times alone in the last 2 weeks, not including the times I've lit it up before that, like this is pretty sad. But a couple things with this one. The wicks, they're getting better, but they're so low flame. Like the flames are, they're not puny wicks, but they're almost puny wicks. You know what I'm saying? They're like a step above, if you will. I'm finally getting to the point this week where I feel like it's actually pulling out all the way. I mean, yes, there's that tiny little piece, but I feel like I'm getting to the point where in about an hour and a half, it's actually fully pulling out all the way. I feel like the flames are like a little bit taller than they once were, so the throw is getting a smidge better. I find that when there's nothing else going, like if I do this in the evening, say, you know, I'm combining it with this wax, it's just really, really hard to pick up. If I do it by itself, it's getting a little bit better. Like I can detect it. I don't know if that's a byproduct of it literally being by itself, or if it's because I feel like the wicks are getting just like a little bit more flame on them. Could be a combo, but I feel like that's how I've been enjoying this. So yeah, I'm coming around to it. Once again, I feel like sticking my nose in it on cold, because I do this every day, it's so strong. Like it is so incredibly strong. Let me smell this fresh one I actually have. I feel like it's just so strong. Like, look at these lids. I mean, I feel like you can just tell there's a ton of scent oil in here, right? I don't know. It seems like it's so strong. And then when it's burning, it's like, where'd she go? I don't know. So the wax looks pretty clean to me at this point. I mean, I'm not that far into it, so I'm just gonna keep kind of doing my thing with it and see how it goes. I have the other one, like I said, these are fairly old. They're from the 90th day of 2022. I think these were at a summer SAS is where they got released. So like they're what, 3 years old officially. So I mean, like if I have to just kind of crock them, lamp them, I do feel like my next stage would be putting this under the lamp before I go with the crocking route, because I've been having some success with the lamp, which I'll chat about later. Next up, in true Easter fashion, I was working on Some Bunny Loves You. Play on words there. Sweet carrot cake. Obviously we got the whole Easter theme here. So this one is sweet carrot cake, sweet cream cheese frosting, fluffy carrot cake, cinnamon spice. This totally, like, I've said this many times because it's not the first time I'm talking about this candle, but like, what do carrots smell like in carrot cake? Like, earthy, you know what I mean? Like, think about, what does a carrot smell like? It's not like celery. I feel like celery is such a distinct scent. Like carrots kind of just like, I think of them more as the crunch than what they smell like. I'm also not really a big carrot eater, so like this is more conceptual. They call it carrot cake in my head. I feel like the spiciness and the cream cheese frosting is what makes this carrot cake, as opposed to it's making me think of carrots, if you're catching my drift here. So I enjoyed this in the morning times just because I wanted a little bit of a bakery. It felt like seasonally appropriate with Easter. But this one burning so hot. I also feel like I'm about directly halfway, as you can tell. I think, honestly, I'm gonna put this one in my crock. I think I need a new crock candle. The one I have in there is like completely scentless. So I have another option, but I think I'm gonna put this in. Like, I feel like I've gotten my, like, what I want from the aesthetic part of it, like burning it during Easter. And I feel like the more we get through the year, like the hotter it gets on our way to summer, this isn't going to be the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, spice cake isn't going to be what I'm wanting until like fall again, per se. Still has plenty of scent left in it. I mean, it's only half full. I think I'm going to put this in the crock, to be honest. I burned that one 5 times this past week leading up to Easter. So that's my stats with that. Okay, next, actually, on Easter, let's just continue on this train. I wanted something, couple things. I know I put the fragrance tower in our upstairs bathroom. I ended up putting a wall fan in there as well on Easter while we were hosting, just for a little extra fragrance output when people use to the bathroom, if you're catching my drift. The fragrance tower is nice, but it's definitely not going to mask any odors, if you know what I'm saying. So I wanted a little bit of something extra that I could just utilize. And so I ended up putting a wall fan in there. Worked totally fine. I probably should have brought it to talk about in this video, but whatever. It had winterberry apple tea in it. It just literally has those pods because I am just trying to like use them up in spaces to like get them cycled out. But who doesn't love winterberry apple tea? Then in the downstairs bathroom, I was like, I want a little something. I don't know what. I don't know if anyone will really use it because we mostly hang out upstairs, but my dad always uses the downstairs bathroom. Like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, when they stay, that's where their, like, the spare room is. That's where they stay, whatever. I don't know if he's just like, this is where I'm more comfortable because it's what I always do. I don't know. So I was like, worst case, even if he goes in there, which he did, or if nobody does, like, it'll just be a nice ambiance. So I wanted something I could like set it, forget it. Obviously it's a candle, but like, it's not, I don't have to worry about it in the way that I do with some others. And so I chose a Kringle, if you know what I mean. I feel like Kringles, especially this like vessel formula, whatever, I'm not saying you should burn them and leave your house, but like, they're mostly reliable to just do their thing and be chill. So I probably had this one going for like 4 hours, maybe, if I'm taking a guess. That's probably not recommended, but once again, it doesn't say a burn limit time frame on the bottom. It just says avoid drafty areas. Whatever. So I did this one. I feel like this just soy wax just takes so long to burn. Like, I've burned this so many times and I feel like you can't even tell. Like, it's barely a third of the way gone. It's crazy. I do feel like after this last burn, I got a little bit of, not mushrooming, but like baby mushrooms, if you will, on the top of the wicks. Do you guys cut these off? Like, if the official like Kringle peeps or like people who burn Kringles a lot, like, please give me your advice. I feel like I always talk about people saying I never trim anything off my Kringle candles. Like, do you cut that piece off or do you just light it up again and assume it like doesn't spark and light something else on fire? Like, please give me some advice, because I feel like that needs to be cut off or it's going to like let go. Or do you like wipe them and they like fall off? Like, please give me some advice, because I feel like everybody talks about how these wicks are self-trimming and you like don't need to do anything to maintenance them. What exactly does that mean? Please give me some advice. Anyway, yeah, that's basically what I use this candle for. I feel like this candle at this point is just like a perfect example of what I just described. Like, it's one that I put in where I can just like use and do whatever. Like, it's vanilla cone. It's not the most scented. It's not gonna blow your socks off. It's just there as like Old Faithful at this point. and she's got a lot left, so she's definitely Old Faithful. Last candle, and this one actually has been currently living under my candle lamp. So this is Bergamot Waters from Bath and Body Works. I feel like you will be able to tell that she's living under my lamp because look at these wicks. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Oh crap. Okay, I'm not gonna touch the wicks. I feel like you can tell like that half burned, half exposed action. That's from the lamp. Yes, it is. I feel like I could probably trim these and it'd be a little bit more presentable, but it just lives under my lamp. It's fine. I feel like I've done one pour off, which you can tell from that wick action. And I feel like this actually is doing really, really well. After the pour off, some of the candles I've done, I've poured them off and they've had like a massive, like the side has looked so bad wherever I pour them because like the wax dries there. This I feel like is looking pretty good the whole way around. Not that it's like a big deal, but I'm really happy about that. This candle's doing amazing under the lamp though. It smells so good. Like I have the lamp in our bedroom. It's a perfect scent for the bedroom. I just turn it on like an hour or two before bed. It gives a beautiful glow. It's on an automatic timer lamp, so it just shuts off at the end. It's like literally no maintenance besides having to pour it out. It's the only downside to me, but like it gets a nice generous wax pool. It fragrances the area really well. This is a super strong candle, so like I'm really happy about how this is going. This was my other contender for the crock possibly, but like I'm just enjoying this one so much in the format I'm using it in. I feel like I'm gonna do the sweet carrot cake, the Somebody Loves You in the crock because that feels just like I'm kind of over that, whereas I'm like really still enjoying this one. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. If you're into candle lamps or candle accessories or candle crocking and you haven't tried a lamp yet, I feel like I'm finally like at a place where I'm really enjoying the lamp. So I'm very, very happy about that. So that is everything I have for this week. As I kind of mentioned, I'm already starting to dive in for things for this next week. So yeah, that is everything. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.